Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space. Now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats. So you see the writing on the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the War Report podcast, hosted by the voice of Northeast Wrestling, Vince Berry. Will be joining us shortly. We've got the crew tonight. We got Ryan, we got Kat. The chairman of the board will be on shortly too, so he's making his triumphant return. So this is going to be a great show. I'm excited. Why not start with the Little Jeff Hardy, the new song, well, the redone song of old. Still think the original Hardy Boy music is my favorite, but this one's grown on me. But yeah, so welcome everyone. It's good to have you. Real quick, I just wanted to touch on something. So last week, first of all, thank you so much for everyone who's listening or who listens later that reached out. I'm good, but I happen to be the only person in the world that can fuck themselves up doing a podcast. It's amazing. The real short of it is my poor wife. She spent the entire day in the hospital with my mother-in-law, who was getting rotator cuff surgery. So they were in the hospital all day. The podcast started. They still weren't back yet. I've got the kids. I was hoping they'd be back in time. I do this in our Florida room, which I've kind of turned into what would be my man cave, if you want to call it that. It's where I do the show. And I have windows to my right where I can see the driveway. And I'm thinking, I want to keep checking, make sure when they get here, in case I need to help get her into the house. So every few minutes, I would turn off the camera and I would look out the window to see if they were there. I'd mute my microphone. And we probably got about 15, 16, maybe 17 minutes into the show. I have now checked 3 or 4 times. I get up, and this time there was a cord or two from my monitors and everything else that got caught in my leg. And as I turned my body, I saw my monitors coming crashing down. So I quickly moved to save said monitors, and I face planted the glass table that the monitors are on because I lost my balance and smacked my face. Very out of sorts, obviously. My face felt a little wet, so I checked and I had some blood. I said, oh, great, bloody nose, no big deal. I can do the show. I run into the kitchen. I grab some paper towel, and it is a lot of blood, a lot more than I would have expected. My daughter walks in, 8 years old. She starts screaming, runs down to get mommy. They're now home. They've been home for 5 minutes. And she comes running up, and sure enough, I need 4 stitches right above my nose on my lip. And she had to now spend more time in the hospital. And I had to leave abruptly. And I was so out of it, I didn't even realize we were still on the air until I was almost at the hospital. But it could have been a whole lot worse. I could have gotten a concussion, could have broken the nose, could have broken the table, gotten glass in the eye and the face. So all is good. Stitches are out today. They did a great job. And all is good in the world. So Vince, if you're listening, I'm so sorry for leaving you hanging. Kat, I'm glad you were available to jump in. But that's what happened. It's all good. And
just tell the truth. You wanted to see what it was like to do a death match.
We talked about that privately. This is why you can't tell her anything. But no, all is good, and I'm glad to be back. Hey, Tara, welcome to the show as always. Yes, it was an oh shit moment for sure. But I just wanted to get that out. Thanks again to everybody who reached out, wished me well wishes, but all is good, and I'm back.
Doing, by the way,
I'm sorry.
how's Fran doing? By the way,
She's doing well. I mean, considering it was torn in 5 places.
oh my God.
So yeah, it was a pretty big surgery. It was hours, but she's doing well. So thank you for asking.
Me. She said, "What did I miss on General Hospital?" I was like, "Oh God, Fran, a lot."
She hasn't missed a fucking thing. My DVR is full of episodes. She's watching every day. She got nothing else to do. She can't move too much. And she's in one of those arm braces, which I feel horrible because they're so uncomfortable. And she's like this, all day long. But this is a wrestling podcast, so let's get into the wrestling. I just, again, wanted to thank everyone. Got that out of the way. What did we think about this week in wrestling? Obviously, everything is kind of really setting up and setting the stage in WWE for King of the Ring, Queen of the Crown, or whatever the fuck they're calling it, and then, of course, Crown Jewel. And then, of course,
have the draft looming.
Well, and we had the draft, and even though the draft hasn't officially started, it doesn't officially go into play until the show after Crown Jewel.
Yep.
They're already showing up. Some like Usos were on Raw and so forth. So, Vinnie Mac, what's up? Welcome. Glad you can make it. I don't know if you can hear me. You don't have the headphones on yet. Yeah, but it's all good. But yeah,
look is really good though.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, overall, I think this was a pretty decent week in wrestling. I think WWE, I think, is trying. You can see.
I love that. They're trying, guys.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell there seems to be more effort being put in. They're trying to bring us different matches. They're trying to have those Fugazi finishes, but then, oh no, we're not going to end it this way and we're going to restart. I don't know. I think both Raw and SmackDown were better than they have been. I think the flow has been better. I haven't been bored out of my mind. But at the end of the day, AEW is still hitting it on all cylinders. It's
did beat AEW this week.
Yes.
But isn't that weird that we're at the point where we're like, hey,
yeah,
AEW is beating Raw, not in the total ratings, but in the demographic that is important to the advertisers. 2 years ago, did anybody think that we'd be at this point?
That's for the chairman.
That's not for you, Vince.
No, I saw the thing come up while I was talking. Oh, shit.
Chairman finally returns to the War Report podcast. What's going on, you son of a bitch? Good to see you. Or not really. We see Chair.
Yeah.
But put it up for me. I see his mic's muted. He's probably still getting situated. But all in all, again, I think for wrestling fans, I think it was a great week for wrestling. And I've never been excited for Crown Jewel. I'm kind of excited. I'm not so excited that it's on a Thursday at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, but
right.
It is what it is. The beauty of Peacock or, whatever, you can still. So,
you'll be working from home and your kids will be at school. Cha-ching.
Yeah. Well, you have that luxury. I got to go sell cars. But what do you guys want to start with? You want to start with SmackDown, Raw, Crown Jewel? I mean, King of the Ring, Queen of the Crown, fucking whatever the fuck you want to call it. What do you guys want to start with? I just got to say, I love seeing a full panel.
Yeah,
right.
This is absolutely fantastic. I'm loving it. Getting goody. So, what do you guys want to start with? And as I say that, Chairman leaves. Fucker. He'll be back. He's having Wi-Fi issues, apparently. But what do you guys want to do? What do you want to start with? You want to start with SmackDown, Raw, AEW? SmackDown. Talk to me. SmackDown?
Yeah, we got to start with that whole, the Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar.
Well, we'll kind of take it in order. So the show opens, Bianca laying out Sasha and Becky and kind of setting that tone. I thought that was a pretty solid way to open. They all can go. You know what I mean? So it's exciting to watch. Even though we've seen Charlotte and Becky, this is different because now you're putting Sasha and Bianca in there. I would personally love to just see a fatal four-way.
Yes.
But maybe they'll be able to set that up, for a later time. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to deal with the belts, So, but overall, I thought it was a good start to the show. What do you guys think?
I thought it was a pretty good start.
Compared to some of the stuff they've been doing with the women's division over the past couple of weeks, this was refreshing. So, it's been a while now that it's been anything good, like really spectacular with the women, even on SmackDown with how stacked it is. So to see a different perspective, even though it's usual women wrestlers, it was a really good angle for a change.
Not only that, but you know what I enjoyed the most about it? It was short, sweet, and to the point.
Yes.
It didn't drag out. It wasn't like an opening segment that went 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It was like, wham, bam, thank you. Hit you right where you needed to, made its point, and then you get to move on. Right. I think a lot of times these opening segments go way too fucking long, and then you have to wait till the main event to see whatever was set up for the main event, because that's usually what that is. Right. You had to wait 3 hours for the fucking payoff. And by that point, you don't give a fuck anymore. In some respects. You know what I mean? So I thought that was also well done.
Yeah, it's so funny to see them do that with the women's division, like the main event women's division, and actually like they're spending time, they're caring about it. We've got Becky, we've got Charlotte, we've got Bianca in there now, we've got Sasha involved. And then they have this Queen of the Ring tournament where every match goes 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's just, you get one that's a real positive and then one that's
you got the polar opposite ends of the spectrum.
And I'm not saying that, Shayna Baszler should be out there having 20-minute matches with Liv Morgan or whoever the hell.
Well, it was fucking Dana Brooke. That match should have been even shorter. I mean, what I mean?
That's fun. But like the actual women's wrestlers, like I hate to say that there are girls on that roster that aren't actual women's, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're more of the entertaining end.
Right. Why there was one of the King of the Ring matches, the men's matches, one of them was longer than all of the Queen of the Ring matches combined so far. So like I love what they're doing some good stuff with the main event of the women's division, but then when it goes down the chain to the Queen's crown, I don't know.
Well, we'll say it's a work in progress. I mean, at the end of the day, it's you already know who's going to be, kind of in the finals. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have an idea. The chairman is finally here.
What's going on?
This shit works this time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Technical difficulty over here.
Hey, it doesn't matter. We got you. You're here. You're back. Like, is this going to be like a regular thing again?
It's back. It's the time.
Fucking A. Chairman is back, ladies and gentlemen. The ratings are going to go up. Fucking awesome. I love it. Well, we were just talking, we were starting off with SmackDown. So we kind of talked about the open, short, sweet, to the point, was actually a decent segment. You have any thoughts, anything you want to, it was Becky, Sasha, Bianca.
No, I'm going to skip SmackDown.
So that's the chairman's way of saying he did not see SmackDown.
Welcome back. And then he doesn't
want let me ask you this, just so when we get there, I just want to be clear. Are we bringing back Chairman Raw in 30?
Absolutely. We're there.
Oh, see, he's prepared for that. So that's cool. We're good. So we had a King of the Ring qualifier, quarterfinal match, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn. I mean, it can't really ever be bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like those two are solid, you know, and they have good chemistry. I don't know. What do you, any thoughts on that? I mean, I thought that was pretty good. And you notice the flow, right? Like the booking of the segments and the matches, it almost feels like they're just putting more thought into it. You know what I mean? Like one thing we're constantly saying and complimenting is AEW's booking. and how it flows even in their pay-per-views. We haven't really had anything quite negative to say when it comes to the booking, and I feel like WWE's really putting more emphasis on that. Just my opinion. I feel like Raw was the same way too. But
I don't get how Nakamura isn't in the tournament.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Say that again?
Why isn't Nakamura in the tournament? Since he technically was the last king.
It said that he's going to focus on being the Intercontinental Champion.
Right, but is he still going to be able to? So when they finally crown the new king, is he still going to be considered the king of strong style, or are they going to just take the crown away from him?
He doesn't even need to compete. He's the king already.
I agree, but
yes, he's not defending his crown. I mean, I get. I mean, maybe maybe we're going to be surprised. Maybe WWE is going to give us king versus king once the new king is determined.
Ooh, that's interesting.
A good match between Nakamura and whoever wins.
Crown for crown.
Right, that would be nice.
That's not a terrible idea.
I didn't think about that.
No, me either. That's a good idea. So they're also playing a little to the tension between Dominic and Ray.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm really just hoping this doesn't turn into a match. I really just
seems like it's going that way.
Yeah,
I know, but
that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not.
Ray
I'm not
put his son over and give him the mask. Like that's what Ray wants to do. So I mean, what are we gonna? We can't really. Stop,
it's funny you say that. Yeah. So I was reading something earlier where it was an interview with Dominic, some magazine, and he was saying how most of his training he did wearing a mask so that he could get comfortable with the breathing and the feel of it and the moving of it and this and that, because he wanted to debut with a mask. He wants to carry the Mysterio legacy and he wants to wear the mask. So you are correct. In the end, this is going to turn into Dominic wearing a mask. Right. And I'm okay with it. I just hope they get a little creative and make it not look exactly like a Ray mask, like make it his own. But I'm excited for it,
Could be. I mean, listen, there's stuff to look forward to. There's stuff that I'm not crazy about. Like, I don't want to skip ahead to Raw, but just I'll mention one silly thing from Raw. The promo segment with Drew and Big E backstage, where they did the Mega Powers handshake, was like the most awkward two guys who have nothing in common pretending that they're friends kind of conversation I've ever seen in my life. And then they did this weird, like, it wasn't even the Mega Powers. Like, I don't even know have they never seen the Mega Powers handshake? Like,
but even if it was awkward, it was like, don't answer for me. We accept, I accept. It's very awkward between the two.
It's babyface versus babyface, and it doesn't work. But anyway, that's that thing. But it also intersects with SmackDown.
It's the arm flex, the pound from Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers and the Predator.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, he did one of those. But it's tied into this bloodline thing with Roman Reigns and the Usos. We're leading into that time of the year with Survivor Series where the teams, the one night of the year where SmackDown and Raw compete against each other, even though it's technically not the only night of the year where they compete against each other. But we're building to that. So are we, obviously, for me, Drew loses to Big E, and then Big E goes to Survivor Series and does champion versus champion Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
There's definitely some good potential, headed that way. We'll have to see how it shapes up. But yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense. It definitely seems like that's the way it's the direction it's going.
New Day versus the Bloodline.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
you could do that.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how they do the teams up. But continuing on with SmackDown, you had another quarterfinal match for the Queen Crown deal, and it was Vega and Storm, and that's going to your point, Vince. That match was over pretty much as soon as it started. But I was happy to see Zelina Vega actually get a win. I love Toni Storm, but Vega, I feel like, hasn't won more than one match since she came back.
I was
so
just gonna say it was either her first win or like her second win since she got rehired.
And it actually is, it means something, because it's a tournament. So, I was kind of happy to see that, but
there's still no explanation for a rehire. They keep jobbing her out. What the fuck's the point? It makes no sense.
Well, I agree with you, but now what if she surprises everyone and wins the tournament? Now I say that, but let me say this real quick. Hold on, before you even get in, I will say this though. I don't see how Charlotte is in the tournament, right? Is she in it or no?
No.
She's not,
she's
right?
Not.
No.
Yeah, I mean, she might surprise us. Maybe she will win. What were you going to say, Sam?
I was saying, it's just even if she wins, they're just going to drop her to low mid card again. It doesn't make any sense. The writing is garbage, is brutal. Like, this is finally great. We got a Queen of the Ring, right? And what are they going to do with him? Nothing.
Yeah.
You still have 4 programs going on simultaneously with the best, right? You got Becky Lynch, you got EST, you got Flair, you got Sasha's back. That has to run for a couple months before anything happens. So the Queen of the Ring is just going to be nothing. It's going to be a waste.
I kind of see your point.
Yeah.
I mean,
history's on your side on that point.
It's almost like, in theory, it's great. We're finally getting a Queen of the Ring,
right?
Which they should have been doing for a long time, and it's putting more spotlight on the women. But he's not wrong. I mean, your core women are the ones that are going to tie up most of the time, and which rightfully so. People are paying top dollar to see Becky Lynch and Sasha and Charlotte and Bianca. I get it, but he's not wrong. It's going to get shuffled in the mid card. But King Booker, for example, was kind of shifted to mid card for a while after he won the title. Yeah. So,
But this Queen of the Ring, King of the Ring, that's happening at Saudi Arabia, it's the same thing like the greatest Royal Rumble. It's the same thing like the best in the world where Shane McMahon ended up winning that thing. It's basically just being a spotlight for over there. And like Sam, I agree with Sam 100%. It's not going to mean shit once they come back.
See, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think even if it wasn't taking place at Crown Jewel, I still think it would have been taking place. Like, they didn't create Queen of the Ring just because they're going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, of all the things to create just for Saudi Arabia.
Well, right, exactly. It's like,
yeah, it really is, because the last time was the first ever women's match.
So if they weren't going to Saudi Arabia at all, you don't think we'd have a Queen of the Ring tournament this year?
Nope. Not the way that they're setting it up, like the King of the Ring and everything. Why didn't they announce it a lot sooner than Saudi Arabia, or do it more spaced out time before Survivor Series, before we're starting?
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't agree with that. That's just
think they hot-shotted it because of Saudi Arabia, but
well, let's put it this way: they were already setting up, like you said, for Sasha, Bianca, Becky, and everything for that or whatever. So why aren't your big stars in the Queen of the Ring? They're putting all, the biggest one in there.
Because you have to have people go after the title. I mean,
how you used to Dewdrop and everything last night. But Shayna Baszler, Dana Brooke, predictable, really hard to figure out that one. Liv Morgan versus
nobody's disagreeing with the fact that these matches that they're putting together aren't like predictable. They 100% are, and that's WWE writing. That's what it is.
You guys are my Raw 30 here. You're killing me.
Go ahead,
killing me,
Sam.
small.
Go ahead, Sam.
No, I'm saying you guys are killing Raw in 30. If you give all the goodies away, what am I going to say?
All right.
All the goodie bags.
So moving on. Moving on.
You guys aren't wrong. I got to kind of jump on that what Kat said there, and what Ryan said too. I think there would have been a Queen of the Ring no matter what, regardless of them going to Saudi Arabia.
Thank you.
I think they hot-shotted it just because they have to have some form of shock value or just something that we want to talk about or watch for, even for a couple minutes, because they got to compete now. Now they're starting to know that if there's some form of competition out there, there's an option. Impact was not really an option, but there's something there. It's really AEW is doing so fucking well right now with the writing and the gimmicks and the ratings.
They're outselling live shows. They're it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what you read and no matter what you hear, it's bullshit. Vince is worried. Hey, there's no way in hell that he can't be worried right now because Tony Khan is killing it right now.
I can agree with Sam's statement 100% about the fact that it's a shotgun thing and that they're trying to compete and everything with the Queen of the Ring and everything like that. But if that's what they're using for competition, they're doing a shitty job of it.
Well, no, nobody's going to disagree with that. But my only point is that I think
done in Saudi Arabia. Because on regular TV, no, we're not going to give a shit.
And that might be very true, but at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, even if there was nothing, like we weren't going to the Middle East at all, there was still going to be a Queen of the Ring. That's what I'm saying. Other than that, I agree with you. I think the matches are bullshit. I think it's going to mean nothing. I think it's going to mean nothing afterwards, unfortunately. Maybe they'll surprise us. Doubtful. But, and yes, I do think they hotgunned it when they solidified the show for Saudi Arabia, of course. I just think they would have had it regardless if they were in Saudi Arabia or not. That's just what I'm saying. Yeah. But,
might have. I mean, I feel like it's been so long that maybe they could have done. But the problem is you can't ever give them the benefit of the doubt because the timing of the shit that they do is so suspicious. Like Kat said, it was so close to Saudi Arabia. They're like, oh, we need something for the women to do because Saudi Arabians hate women and want them to cover up their bodies and be ashamed of them. So what can we do to help cross this gap? Let's put it in a tournament.
See, but
if Carmella's going to be competing, I'm really intrigued to see what the hell she's going to be wearing in Saudi Arabia.
She'll be covered up. Here's my thing. I
chopped up into little pieces.
Yeah, Vince, I agree to a point. The other side of me says we had a conversation on this show. Like, what else can they do to make it a first for the women? They did the Hell in the Cell. They did the Royal Rumble. When we started saying, like, they're running out of things for first with the women. Like, what else could there be? This is one. Somebody there had to say, well, we have King of the Ring. We need to do Queen of the Ring. Oh, there you go. Another first. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I agree the timing is suspicious, but I still think this was in the works, prior.
Yeah. They kind of ruined the first with Charlotte and Sasha Banks just shotgunning all of them in a row. A couple years back.
Oh, what, in Saudi Arabia?
No, the first Hell in a Cell. The first.
Oh, yeah. All the firsts happened kind of within 1 year. It was like first Hell in a Cell, last woman standing, this, that, and the other thing.
They kept on bouncing the title between the two with the first of.
Right.
Could we stop worried about what's the first and start worried about having good matches?
Exactly.
Like,
I feel the same way.
You have
talent. 1 second.
And the women's division is fucking amazing. Let them put on a show. They know what the fuck they're doing. I don't care about a first anymore.
Well, no, and I agree with you, but they are looking at because
Saudi Arabia is just a fucking gimmick pay-per-view anyway. It's a way to generate a couple $1 real quick, put the name out, show the global brand, and then come back and keep trying to bully AEW, and you're gonna fail. It's just not gonna work.
It's funny, Sam. I said last week or the week it couldn't have been last week. It was the week before, and I said, what's amazing is that if this became another war like WCW, I'm not confident that Vince can win it twice. Like, I think it's at a point now where he's made so many decisions that a lot of people don't agree with. And it's showing in the fact that AEW is outselling them in every way, shape, or form, whether it be live shows or this and that. It's I don't know that he can win it twice. So I agree with you. I think that if he continues the bullying aspect, I think AEW has a shot at taking him out. But
I don't think it'll a lot of business. Like, that's the thing. WWE is like McDonald's. Even if Subway is now number one, McDonald's isn't going anywhere. They're just going to be, solid.
We need to do a whole show just on that. Is there a new war, right? Is the war going to come? Who's going to win? I think Vince makes a great point on that one. I mean, it's McDonald's, right? Over a billion not going nowhere. But at the same time, to Steve's point as well, one, I think your boy Vince is just too old. I don't think he can survive. No disrespect to him, being real about it, I don't think he can handle that.
Right.
On top of
I
that,
agree.
he might have some of this, but he doesn't have the same people surrounding him and helping him or protecting him. You know,
Right.
A lot of the great they're gone. And on
Right.
top of that, Stone Cold ain't there, right? Undertaker is out. He's semi-retired, right? Or retired, who knows? Right? Triple H, God bless him, he's going through some medical issues as well, right? The Attitude Era is gone. So,
right.
What are they going to do to TNT and TBS titles? And your boy Cody literally doing what his father taught him, like figuring shit out, making shit work.
And they're gonna have a women's tag team title coming out soon. I mean, that's next. That's got to be. Here's. Imagine this. This in some way would be almost poetic. Okay. Imagine you're sitting one night watching Monday Night Raw, and the show opens with Tony Khan walking down to the ring and saying, "I now own WWE."
And then his dad comes in and he says, "The contract says Khan, but it says Shahid Khan."
But could you imagine? Like, I don't think that would happen. I don't think so.
No, I don't think.
But imagine if it did. You know what I mean?
Vince would sell it to NBC or Disney before he sold it to Tony Khan. Like,
yeah, that's true.
And because Disney and NBC are both at the point where, because they have these streaming services that constantly need new content, something like WWE that tours weekly and puts on 3
there's a constant stream of
there's a constant stream of
content.
Yeah, just content. That's really what it is. So they can say they have 10,000 hours of this and 1,000 hours or whatever. So that's a big benefit to whatever streaming platform WWE is on. So that's why when the deal was made for Peacock, people were thinking, does this lead to Comcast NBC or NBC Comcast, what are they called now, to NBC Universal maybe, to purchase?
NBC Universal would be the...
Right. Or now that it's on Peacock, maybe that, the rumblings were like, oh, Disney's interested. It could go on ESPN Plus. They do the boxing and the MMA pay-per-views. They could have pro wrestling as part of the ESPN Plus package. Who knows if that's, that might be the parachute where if Vince McMahon decides that he doesn't want to do it anymore, if AEW is starting to beat him and he doesn't think he has the energy, I think he pulls the ripcord and takes a settlement from, takes a buyout from one of those two companies.
I think Vince will fight that. He's not going down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I think the product's just going to continue to get better. I do. I think he's going to pull out his A game like he did back then.
So, the good thing is, so this is interesting. Friday, SmackDown is on FS1 due to baseball players.
Yep.
Due to the debut of, or the season premiere or beginning of the season for NHL, AEW's Wednesday night show has moved to Saturday night. It will be live, I believe. And then Friday night is a live Rampage. And Tony Khan is already fueling the fires of like the old Monday Night Wars. He went on Twitter and started talking shit. He's like, "Oh, I can't wait to beat you guys in the ratings when we're on the same night." Blah, 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 all this stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, he's stirring it.
He's stirring the pot. And people they're biting hook, line, and he's just reeling them in. And then he announces that there is not only is the Rampage live, there is going to be a buy-in pre-show on YouTube that has Minoru Suzuki against Bryan Danielson.
Holy shit.
What the fuck? This is free. He's just putting it for free on YouTube to try and prevent people from watching SmackDown. What?
Yeah, did you see what time he's doing that?
At 8? Is it 8 or 9?
9:30, half an hour before Rampage starts, because
Brilliant.
SmackDown is going
a half an hour later. So yes, and then
making you pull an hour before it even
going to
be over.
Yep. Yeah. So and then the response from SmackDown was that they got permission from Fox and Fox Sports to go an extra half hour. They're going 2.5 hours to 10:30, and that last half hour is going to be commercial free. So you should expect a Becky Lynch title defense and or a segment with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns as that 10:30 segment, because 10 to 10:30, because Vince and WWE want to take eyes away from AEW when it comes up at 10. But then AEW has the YouTube show at 9:30.
Signing is at 10 o'clock.
Look, it's so. I mean, that's great. We haven't had the need to counter. The last time I can think of WWE counter programming another promotion was when TNA debuted on Monday nights, and they did Brett and Shawn. Like, that was the biggest thing they could do, was reunite Brett and Shawn after 20 years, and it killed TNA, and they never recovered for Monday nights. So that killed that.
Had Hogan and the entire NWO Bischoff that night, and they still lost.
Yeah.
I know, that's crazy to think. They had Waltman, Hall, I think Nash showed up.
Sting showed up too.
Sting was
Jeff Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam had the title, and then Sting ran out. No, Sting had the title, and Rob Van Dam ran out as a surprise and won. I don't know. There was all kinds of crazy shit happening.
Didn't Jeff Hardy debut as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then was that wasn't the one with the cage match where Homicide couldn't climb out of the top of the dome, could he?
No,
I
that
can't
was
remember.
the same night.
God, that was all around the same time. But anyway, that's the last time, and that was 11 years ago. That's the last time I remember WWE going, hey, we've got to put something else on to counter program.
It's going to be very interesting to see how WWE reacts and counters, and what they're going to be able to do. Time will tell. So SmackDown finished with the head of the table, Sir Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar segment. And as usual, a perfect promo from Paul Heyman, who had to publicly tell Brock that he's not going to beat Roman. What did you guys? I mean, that kind of segment for me is always a home run.
Yeah, because it's not a prediction; it's a spoiler.
Yeah, well, listen,
I love it.
The intriguing thing about this Brock Lesnar thing, which is the first time I've ever said that ever about Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, is that we don't know who the fuck's going to win the match. And it actually kind of matters. Somebody got a text message.
Sorry, that was Bob. Sorry, guys.
That's fine. Hi, Bob. Tell him we said hello. Yeah, I just,
I don't scheduled to go away after this Saudi Arabia match.
Maybe.
I don't see Roman losing. I'm going with Roman.
This new Brock Lesnar, I got to give the guy credit. For somebody who has the reputation of only working when he wants to work for the right amount of money and all this other stuff, he came out here with it. He didn't just come out as Brock Lesnar from last year or the year before. Yeah, this is a new character, a new hairstyle, the beard, the way he's dressing more like he dresses casually like a freaking lumberjack. He's showing more personality. He has to talk now instead of just relying on Paul Heyman. So I don't know, man. I think he's doing a great job. The only thing is we've seen this match a bunch of times, and it usually, the intent has always been for Brock Lesnar to put over Roman Reigns and cement Roman as the top guy. And we've had this coronation match like 8 times. So maybe this 9th one is going to stick. Because honest to God, as good as these guys are doing right now, and both of them are both doing great promos and engaging people, I don't want to see this match again. Just do it. Be this make this the final encounter one more time before you can never challenge as long as the other guy holds the title or something.
Remember that
constantly.
You're both $15 million a year to work 6 dates.
Isn't that amazing?
The best businessman in wrestling.
Isn't that amazing? Best businessman in the fucking world. I mean, it really is just incredible.
6 to 7 times a year, 15 million clean without anything else.
Yeah. So listen, we got about 20 minutes, and I think we should shift now our attention over to Monday Night Raw. And ladies and gentlemen, I give you the return of Chairman Raw in 30. Chairman, when you are ready, sir.
Shit. All right, here we go. So we got McIntyre in a tight leather jacket and a broadsword. and Big E with the terrible promo and conversations about his nipples for some reason. Don't understand what that about. Okay, we'll take it. Then we get Woods over Ricochet, probably the highlight of the whole fucking night. Great match. Hurt Business comes back out, gets a quick squash with a nail in the coffin. I guess that's a nail in the coffin for Mustafa and the Mansoor's tag team. No? Get it? See? No? All right. Tough crowd.
Yeah.
Baker squashes Dana with a kick to the face. Nobody gives a fuck. Riddle and AJ again. So, yeah. All right. Hardy versus Theory. 24/7 interruptions. Schoolboy finish from a schoolboy face wrestler. Sounds good. Mahal over Kingston. Don't know why. Makes no sense. The real main event started. Sasha, EST, Flair, and Lynch. It was a fight, and then a double DQ. Head scratcher there. What the fuck is going on? Potential for the greatest match of the year? Let's fuck that up too. Sounds good. Then we got Doudrop over Natalia, and still nobody cares. Then we go to the so-called main event, Usos versus Big E and Drew. Count out ending, and then Claymore to Big E. Another head scratcher. So for me, fucking terrible Raw. Short matches, bunch of head scratching endings. I don't know what's going on. If they don't kill the writers now, might as well just turn the fucking TV off. Back to you, sir.
Well, that was well done as always. It was a pleasure listening to your 30 again. Although I have to say, I tend to disagree with a lot of it. I first and foremost, it wasn't.
It wouldn't be you if you did, sir.
True. Well, true. You had mentioned like Riddle AJ, but it really was Riddle versus Omos. And they actually did have a little short thing. I actually enjoyed the segment, but I get it. It's like every week, it's another thing. But I love Riddle, and I love his pairing with Orton. I love the stories. He's just fucking the comic relief that I need within that 3 hours I get with Riddle. So I'm kind of good with that.
But they've been feuding with.
If you enjoy shitty RVD knockoffs and promos, sounds good.
Well, listen.
He's doing good with the bad material they're giving him.
Yeah,
you can tell he's trying to remember lines like, "Hey, I forgot where I'm going. Do you ever forget what you were thinking about?" It's like, dude,
that was hilarious. But like, as you know, then I'm sitting there like, wow, he's baked out of his mind. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
absolutely.
So, but do you think Randy Orton doesn't even have to act in those promos? He's so fucking upset that he got this fucking shit. He's laughing at his head. He's like, "This is ridiculous."
He's trying hard not to laugh. I think that's the best part because you can tell, like, he's trying so hard. But I don't know. I don't mind the segments. I really don't. And then
going on too long, dude. Like almost Omos and AJ against RK Bro feels like it's been going on
forever.
Since, like, WrestleMania 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it has gone on for a while. But
it's the WWE slogan, now, then, and forever.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just hoping at the end of this that RK Bro holds on to the titles and they can move on. Because if they drop, then it's going to continue because they're going to go for a rematch. So hopefully they'll move on to something else. But overall, I didn't mind the segment. Rick, I agree. I will say this. I agree. Hands down, match of the night was Ricochet versus Woods. That match was fantastic. They both did a great job, and I was good with the finish. The next favorite thing for me during Raw was the debacle with the women. Where it's supposed to be a tag team, but they're just it's like a fatal 4-way. And then they come out and say, no, we're not doing this. Get the hell back in the ring and do the match. And they did have the match for a while. Of course, a Fugazi finish, but you kind of knew it was going to be a Fugazi finish. And I was kind of okay with it. I thought they did a good job, hyping up these two matches.
Right. No, I mean, I didn't. Here's the thing. I wasn't crazy about the finish to the main event because it was like I don't even know if they had a bell ring. I don't know if it was a no contest. We all kind of knew what was going to happen. The two guys who were going to wrestle each other at
I think it was a count out, actually.
Was it? It ended up being a count out? Okay, that makes
sense. I got counted. Check,
but it was just like, okay, every time two guys are facing each other at a pay-per-view, they put them in a wacky, can they get along tag team? and some shit happens. But then they did it twice in a row. They did it with the women's match, and they did it with the men's match.
But at least with the women's match, all 4 of these women just do not like each other.
Right. These
There's
other
a
2
good
guys.
story there.
Right.
You know,
Drew
not
and
the
Big
greatest
E.
ending. I'll give you that.
Except that they're the 4 horsewomen, so they don't like each other. I don't get it.
Oh, please. You've never heard of kayfabe.
I love it. I think it was great. It just, because Kat's right. There's a lot of story there. There's a lot going on.
That makes more sense than Drew, because Drew and Big E, I just feel like.
But can you let them wrestle a little bit, please? Is it okay if the wrestling show has some wrestling?
Well, that's the other thing.
Well, no, but nobody's going to disagree with you there. I mean, that's
WWE. It's not AEW. So no, you can't.
Right? Yeah. Sorry.
There are more wrestling matches in AEW in 2 hours than there are in a 3-hour Raw.
Absolutely.
Chairman pulled an Ian Malcolm. I was told there was going to be wrestling on this wrestling show.
Look like it. Yeah.
But I don't know. Overall, I didn't hate Raw. I thought this was a better Raw than what we've had. I think I can see that they're trying to get the level picked back up where it needs to be. I think they have a very long way to go. And I'm very excited to see what they have up their sleeves, because they have to pull something huge out of their ass. And I don't know what it could be at this point. Like, I don't even know if The Rock maybe if The Rock showed up, people would definitely tune in. But what else can you do?
How long?
Well, that's the other thing.
Maybe they need
Raw was fun.
and maybe he has an idea if he rubs his magic lamp. Vince is the only one that saw Dancing with the Stars, so he apparently is the only one that got that.
Did you? Oh, okay. No,
I got that.
Holy shit! It's horrifying.
It is horrifying.
They dressed the Miz up. It's not. It's like, okay. It's Blueface. Like,
apparently he's doing really well, by the way.
He was amazing last night. I hope he doesn't go home tonight.
I mean, I'm not a regular watcher of Dancing with the Stars, but I mean, compared to the other people,
neither am I.
How is he?
He scored a 31 out of 40 for that last night, and he did the freaking quick step.
Okay,
in that genie outfit.
Yeah, and baggy pants and dressed like the genie. So I mean, but it's just weird because it was like he looked completely bald except for the genie ponytail. And then he had this weird goatee that he's never had facial hair as far as I remember, and it doesn't look
rough, but nothing.
Right, but no, he had the long genie goatee, and I'm like, oh, it just doesn't look right. It's like, I don't know. It just...
there, Miz? Oh, I blew myself. Oh God.
Yes.
So we're getting we're getting close to the top, and there's a couple other quick things I did want to address. First and foremost, we need to congratulate the Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics, coming back and landing a deal with Impact Wrestling, which means they may show up in AEW because they have that kind of, so I'm very excited for them. I think that's awesome that they finally landed somewhere. They obviously got their visas in order because I know that was a big part of the delay. Yeah. They were trying to get their working visas back up because once you leave a company, you have to start the whole process over. So I wanted to throw that out there. The other thing we need to talk about is AJ Mendes and Tessa Blanchard have landed in WOW Women of Wrestling. Yep. Does AJ get back in the ring?
Has she been actually cleared?
Apparently she has. Yeah. She did an interview where she said, like, medically, physically, mentally, she's cleared.
Good for her.
If she wanted to.
If she wanted, that's the other thing.
That's a big if.
She seemed like she wanted to let the younger stars shine in this promotion. I don't know. It didn't seem like she was.
It's been 7 years for her too, right?
Right, but if she does it, does Paige come back? Because I'm hearing things about Paige too.
Paige is teasing on Twitter that she's making a comeback. Yeah.
But she's also teasing that she's making her comeback in WWE. So we'll see.
In the Royal Rumble, since she's never gotten a chance to compete in one.
That would be something if she could.
That would be awesome.
It would be legitimately a miracle.
She got pulled just before Evolution and the women's both women's things, she had to miss.
Right? Yeah, she missed out on some big moments.
Yeah.
Poor girl. Yeah, man. So I'm hoping, because she posted that picture. It was a picture of like the Divas Championship that she won. It was a picture of the poster of Fighting with My Family, and then her wrestling boots all in one thing. And you're like, and then she just posted like the little thinking guy, like,
See.
Totally amazing movie. If anybody hasn't seen it, you need to see Fighting.
I haven't seen it yet. I know I gotta watch it.
The trailer just ruined it for me.
No, it was a very good movie. You should watch it. Seriously. If you're a wrestling fan, it's a great movie.
Yeah. After that WrestleMania, I couldn't watch the movie immediately because when I was there live at WrestleMania New Orleans, every break that we took, they played, "Hi, Paige here. You should check out my new movie." And I'm like, oh, I'm so sick of it. By the end of the night, we knew the words to the trailer. Like,
everybody was singing along with the trailer.
Yeah.
Tara does not think Paige is returning, but she did love the movie. So,
I mean, listen, I always hope it's neck injuries and head injuries. Anything with the spine and the brain are bad news. So you have to make sure that you are 100% or as close to 100% before you go back out there.
But at the same time, you look at Daniel Bryan, you look at Edge, you look at, so
medical technology has improved so much.
Correct. And so, there's a very good possibility that we will get to see it. And I hope we do, because her career ended way too prematurely. Since we're talking about movies too, I just want to also throw out to everybody, as far as I can reach. First of all, if you haven't, I've said this many times over, if you have not watched Heels, do yourself a favor and go watch it. It is one of the greatest wrestling shows that I've ever seen. I've officially finished the first season. It has not been renewed yet for season 2. The ratings are there, but they haven't pulled the trigger. So we need to get vocal. They need to do a second season. They ended the first season where it could be the end, but they also left it wide open to continue it. So I'm really hoping, but do yourself a favor. It's really well done. You get to see cameos by CM Punk and Mick Foley. It's awesome. And I'm a big fan. I'm pissed it's over already.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not getting paid for them, unfortunately.
No,
but,
I mean, hey, man, if you want to take us a couple bucks, we'll Stephen Amell, if you want to come on the show.
Oh, fucking! But and let me tell you something. He put in the work. Yeah. I mean, he is so good. And then the guy that plays his brother is fantastic. All the characters are good. It's well done.
Is it on a streaming service?
It's on their the Showtime app.
Yeah, it's on Showtime.
They also, I think, put the first 3 or 4 episodes for free up on YouTube a couple weeks ago, but I don't know how long if they're still up, or if they're how long they stayed up. Stephen Amell even had he brought his gear, his boots and everything to the last AEW pay-per-view in case they decided that they were going to put him in like a battle royal or something.
Which is awesome. I mean, I watch. Eventually, you're going to see him. He's going to show up there. It's just I couldn't praise it more. I mean, it's just so fucking spot on and well done, and you could tell these guys put in the work to really. It's just awesome. I mean, it really is. It's great. But that was. I think I covered everything that I wanted to on that. And it's Tara's right. It is Stars, not Showtime.
Stars, man. We can say Showtime like a bunch.
Yeah, it's Stars. Yeah. I would even recommend buying Stars if you don't have it for a month and then cancel it, just so you can watch Heels.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's only I think Kat? It's only like 7 or 8 episodes, right? 6.
Yeah, there's 7 episodes altogether.
Yeah, so it's 7 hours, so you can bang it out. It's a show that you don't want to turn off. It really is.
What I did with Cobra Kai season 1 and 2, and it was still on YouTube. I got the free membership. I did the membership, watched the whole thing in the day, and then just canceled it right after.
Yeah, it's a good
Makes
idea.
sense.
Oh, yeah,
Heels
seen YouTube
renewed for a second season. It's coming up.
What?
Heels
Say that again.
Heels is going to have a second season.
Did you
Is
confirmed?
that confirmed, or that's just what your prediction?
It's almost 100% confirmed. And I'm going to put some money in there.
How do you know these things?
Well, I'm only asking because I Googled it earlier, and it was as of a day ago. It was still not decided if there would be a season 2. So I'm hoping there is. It's so good. But yeah, well, that brings us pretty much to the top of the hour, and it flies when you got the whole fucking crew back together again.
It's awesome. It's very awesome. So, yeah, dude, hopefully we can have at least sort of a semi-full, if not full squad next week. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you keep hearing meowing, I'm not letting my cat down in the basement right now. So if you heard meowing the whole podcast, it's because my cat wants to come downstairs and I'm not letting her.
I was gonna say I didn't do it.
No, that cat. I will not tell the story now because it takes too long. Suffice to say, I moved into my new house and immediately one of the cats crawled into a hole in the wall and stayed there for 5 hours. So I'm not letting them down in the basement because then I would probably never find them.
They're not gonna get a hole in the wall.
Right? Yeah, right. That'll be just a whatever.
Congrats again on the new house, by the way.
This is part, I'm gonna get more set up. This is kind of what I could do today, but like this is the studio area where there's going to be more stuff. I ordered some signage. I ordered some more, all the stuff that you would expect for a background of this stuff will be updated. Thank you for checking in on me. It's been a hell of a weekend. Just I'm so tired and sore, but we're here now and we're here doing. The best part of my week is being able to sit down and relax and not think about work or all the other bullshit and just talk some wrestling with you guys. So glad to be here.
Cheers.
Amen, my friend. Amen. I agree.
So for those of you who also enjoy pro wrestling and you're listening to this podcast, please tell your friends. We want to make this community as big as it possibly can. We love that we have so many people that listen to the podcast. It seems like more people listen on the audio apps than they do on the streaming apps. So your opportunity to listen, not just the audio version, but the video version. We're all over the internet. You can go to YouTube, put in Tag Me a Date at Tag Me a Date. That's our social media handle. Tag Me a Date with no spaces. It's all one word. That'll be on our YouTube channel where you can like and subscribe, hit the bell. On our social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, Instagram, everywhere. Just search for at Tag Me a Date. You'll find us. For the video, we stream on Facebook, we stream on YouTube, we stream on Periscope, we stream on Twitch. Twitch is different username. It's twitch.tv/War Report. That's all one word, War Report. Everything else is at Tag Me a Date. Same thing for the audio versions. If you're looking for an audio version of this podcast, rather than going to your streaming options, you go to Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. If you look for the War Report or you look for Tag Me a Date, you'll find the audio version of our show. Ryan does his best here. He works very hard for us to pull the audio and upload it to the podcast page about an hour-ish. Well, maybe, it depends on whatever it is, about an hour.
Yeah.
It depends on how long it takes to download and upload. So I'd say within an hour of our show going off the air, it gets uploaded to the audio-only version. So if you prefer to take that in the car or listen to your podcast while you're doing laundry or whatever else you're doing, you can do that. Otherwise, if you want to catch us live and interact with us, we have a live chat here. Tara is always in the live chat. Yep. If you want to join Tara and chime in, every so often, Kat's husband comes in and
the boss of the live chat, Tara.
Right? Yeah, Tara's the boss of the live chat. So if you want to come in and make some friends here and talk some wrestling, we put the comments up on the screen if you've got something that's relevant to the conversation. We're always looking for fan interaction. We're looking for people if you have questions about wrestling or questions about, you want to get our thoughts on something specific that maybe we didn't cover, just reach out to us on social media or hop in the live chat for our live streams. And we'll be back next Tuesday, 6 p.m. on Eastern time for another edition of the War Report. Daylight savings time is probably on its way soon, so just be aware. If
November 7th.
Ring that notification bell so you don't have to worry about it.
Way, so you never have to worry about it is to hit that, give us a little ringy ding dong on YouTube, hit that notification bell, or on Facebook, hit the notification bell. because I get Facebook notifications when we go live every week. So that's it. Just we want more engagement, more fans. We appreciate that you're listening. So please spread the word, tell your friends, and hop in the live chat next week for us. We will be back 6 p.m. Eastern Time next Tuesday evening for yet another edition of the War Report, brought to you by TagMeAndDate.com. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We will see you next time.